We are at Cantor's Deli. Where is that? Well, this is where everybody, after the after party and the after party ends, they end up at Cantor's to celebrate those big Oscar wins, including the directors, like this year's nominees. No stranger to Cantor's, Martin Scorcese loves this place, nominated for The Irishman. I bet you never thought you'd see the day the guy from The Hangover would be nominated, but he is. Todd Phillips for The Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon for Parasite. All right, look, if it were between you and me, I would love 1917 to win. I think it's one of the most remarkable movies ever made. Technologically, way ahead of the rest. I don't know if it's going to win or not, but I still sat down with Sam Mendes to talk about it. Take a look.
It's a very complicated process, but at the same time, you know, a lot of it was done before we started shooting. You know, we had to measure every step of the journey, so we couldn't dig trenches until we knew how long the journey through the trenches was. So we started off on empty fields, holding a script, marking out the journeys and where the scenes happened with posts. And then we dug the trenches. And then obviously you've got to do the same thing with No Man's Land and the German trenches and quarries and orchards and farmhouses and towns at night. None of that was constructed until we knew exactly the journey they had to take.
That guy, Sam Mendes, I want to give him a big hug every time I see him, as well as Steven Spielberg. 1917, a brilliant movie. You got to see it on the big screen. You know, if the Critics' Choice Awards are a barometer by which you judge the Oscars, then Quentin Tarantino's probably not going to win the Oscar, despite the fact I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's going to win. Regardless, he was pretty optimistic when we went behind the scenes to talk to him.
This is our lives. So as important it is that we try to do movies that we care about and we put all our hope into, and hopefully we have good results at the end, as important is the experience of making the movie, because this is our lives. So if we're going to dedicate months and in some cases years to something, then we owe it to ourselves to enjoy it. We owe ourselves to appreciate it, to really have a great time. Everybody on the set, this is their life, so let's live it.
And I see this as a confluence of all your work to date, in many ways. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could talk about that.
Well, there is a thing where, you know, I have a first AD named Bill Clark that has been with me since Jackie Brown. He came to the house to read the script and was really kind of curious what he was going to think about it. And he went out by my pool like these guys did and read it. And he came back in and he goes, "It's all of them." He goes like, "These are all. There's a bit of all your movies rolled into one, to one degree or another in this script." And I do kind of think there's a little bit of I look at this as my 9th movie, but then I think you can also look at it to some degree as like, okay, you can also look at it when it comes to a director's career where their films are focused, they didn't do a job, then maybe all the movies are one movie. They're all connected like boxcars on a train. And if that's the case, I think this is the climax. This seems like the climax of all those movies together. I'll do another movie, but that might be more epilogue-y, right? This seems like the big show-stopping climax.
Nice, really nice.
All right, Quentin, I wish you the best of luck.